just got back from my midnight run, and I just wanted to do a video about my training with the Mountie, Jacques Rougeau Jr., who is a three-time WWE Tag Team Champion with the Quebecers, technically one time with the Rougeau brothers at a house show in Montreal that they never officially counted by the WWE. But I just wanted to say I trained with him in 2002, wrestled on a couple of his shows then in Battle Royals. He had large crowds, 3,000 and 4,000, and his training was very much character-based and how to do specific matches for his next show. I remember that one day specifically, he was showing us how to chop, and since we were new to chopping, he didn't want us chopping each other. So he took chops from all of the students until they got it right. There was like 12 to 15 of us. Now, Kevin Owens had been training with Jacques Rougeau maybe 4 years before I was. For this relatively short period of time, I trained with Jacques in 2002. Because he was more trained than me, he was not in my class, but he was around because after the novices were done, the people that were wrestling on the next shows would come into the ring and practice the matches they were going to do on the next shows. So it wasn't the greatest place to learn how to call on the fly, but a lot of people got to wrestle in front of large crowds, sometimes up to 11,000 for Jacques Rougeau. And he did train some great wrestlers. You know what? I'm not a fan of Kevin Owens. He's not my style of wrestler. I was more of a Jacques Rougeau style, Ultimate Warrior, Goldberg, Macho Man. I know people like him. Jacques trained with Kevin for a long time. Jeremy Prophet, three-time Canadian champion, has wrestled Scott Steiner and defeated Steiner, and a long list of legends. Okay, there is the three Rougeau sons. Cedric Rougeau had a WWE tryout. Jean-Jacques, probably the best wrestler of the three. Cedric having the most potential as far as 6'6", 6'7", movie star good looks. I've seen how much the girls love Cedric. Cedric, me and Jacques had an idea at one point that Cedric and I would be the new Quebecers and Jacques would manage us. We never really pursued that, but I still believe to this day that would have been awesome. Jacques would have got us instantly over. Cedric, yeah, he's less experienced, but I am very experienced, so it would have made up for his shortcomings. Anyways, I'm just saying that's how highly I think of Cedric. I would have been willing to do that gimmick. He has had other wrestlers such as Eric Mastercola, who has wrestled on WWE TV. In Great North Wrestling, over the years, I used a lot of wrestlers that Jacques Rougeau trained. Yes, he had rules. You didn't wrestle for any other companies in the area when you were wrestling for his shows. I know at one point he let me do a match in Calgary because it was in a different territory during my first time there. And everyone knows my story that's on this channel. I had a WWE contract at one point in time, had WWE matches. Finally, I got it in 2009, but I failed a medical test with WWE because I had hepatitis C from being assaulted by Abdullah the Butcher with an unsanitary razor blade. But I had 3 years off of wrestling, getting cured of the disease. When I came back, I trained with Jacques Rougeau again to get back into ring shape. And guess what? My fourth match back, after being on hiatus for 3 years, I wrestled AJ Styles in a best 2 out of 3 falls match when he was New Japan Pro Wrestling. IWGP champion, and I beat him 2 out of those 3 falls. And guess who trained me to help prepare me for that match? Jacques Rougeau. When I wrestled for him on those shows, on his shows, in 2 of the 3 matches I had before facing AJ Styles, he made the rule that since I was wrestling for Great North Wrestling, to be on his shows, I would have to wear a mask and be a different character. And then eventually we just realized it wasn't going to work out because, again, I didn't like his rules either, but that's fine. Some people could comply with them, but I still had an overall great experience. And when I said, hey, I don't like your rules, I'm going to do my own thing, I never badmouthed him. I never trashed his school. I never trashed his training abilities. I never tried to hurt his business. Okay? Someone that actually runs a promotion and runs a school, and he did a great job. I'm sorry he doesn't run a promotion or run a school anymore. I'm very sorry his son's retired from wrestling. I was there with the 11,000 people at Jerry Park in Montreal when they had that retirement match. And by the way, I will pin that match to the top of this comments for anyone that wants to see that. Everyone in that 8-man retirement match were trainees of Jacques Rougeau, including his son. So you guys can watch that and decide if he's a good trainer or not. And there's a lot of phenomenal comments on here from guys like Tony Branco, who heard about the huge crowds that Jacques drew in Quebec, by far the biggest independent crowds. And by the way, Ring of Honor should hire a guy like Jacques Rougeau to promote for them in Quebec. They would pack the houses. They wouldn't need to give away free tickets. That is a fact. Craig Weaver says Jacques' match against Hollywood Hogan was legendary. Yes, it was. I was there that night. Richard Slater says he loved Jacques. The rematch at WrestleMania 37, me versus AJ Styles, Ronaldo Reyes says. So lots, and next, his best wishes to Jacques and me. So thanks a lot. NWO for Life says me and Cedric with Jacques managing us with the cattle prod on the outside would be a hell of a tag team. Yes, it would. Because one other thing the Mountie taught me was he taught me how to sing, and we could come up with a new song. But you know what? That's never going to happen. But I love Jacques Rougeau, so fuck you, Kevin Owens, for dissing him.